We're back again for another episode here today. I am so excited to introduce our next guest on the 5 Minute Bark, Michele Kuglitsch. Did I say that right? Did I butcher your name?
You said it perfect, Dennis. Thank you so much for having me on. It's
that's one of the hardest things about having a podcast. It's not actually doing the podcast. It's actually saying the last names.
That's true.
Yeah, it's the hardest part of it all. And today we've got her here today to help us empower women in many ways. And she's going to step up and turn on the heat with the knowledge she knows here today and helping women be assertive and have power and influence in their lives. Michele, what do you think of that? Are you excited about that?
I am.
Well, I hope you are out there as well, ladies and gentlemen, because we're going to have a great podcast here today. So I'm going to start off, Michele, by letting you tell everybody a little bit about you and how cool you are, because I've met you in several business networking venues or shows or whatever, event. Mm-hmm. And, you always own the room. And that's why I have you here today. And I wanted to have people help learn how to own the room, because I know I don't own the room that much. I'm kind of shy in that arena, and you're just so good at just making the room feel comfortable with all the people, and you're taking this person's hand and putting it next to this person's hand and introducing people, and you're not throwing business in people's face. So tell the people about you and your secrets.
My secrets. Well, actually, I was born in Wisconsin, and I've lived in many different locations. South Dakota, Montana. That's where I went to school for human biology. I was actually going to school for pre-med.
Really? So you're really smart.
That's just what we learn in school, at least. You never know nowadays.
Yeah, right. Okay.
And it's a family business. It's something I've always enjoyed. And I really think that working in the medical field has helped me out so much. I've learned, patient care. I've learned just to be a very caring individual. And I also ran my father's office. So I learned the ins and outs of that and working with insurance companies as well. And I think every aspect of our lives, we learn so much. I've learned so much in my life running the office, and as opposed to in school. I learned so much.
You're saying that. Yeah. I learned so much, and a lot of us have so much to learn in front of us, but we don't choose to learn. Like I used to have a company that I would employ athletes, professional athletes, yes. and they didn't really make a whole lot of money. They were just making enough to get by. But I said, the wealth in this job is what you learn, because we're in front of thousands of people all the time, and you're handling schedules, and you have to be at places that are very important on time. You can't be late. And they never realize until they leave the profession and go on into the real world and realize how much they've learned. And that's so important. And the same with you is like, even though you obviously now have nothing to do with that industry, now you're in a totally different industry, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But I guess what I'm saying to everybody out there is every experience, like Michele is telling you, you learn something new.
I don't look at any negative experience as even negative. It's such a learning curve. Everything I've taken in and I've utilized it. I sit there and I think of these situations I've been put in. Why have I become such a strong individual? Because of what I went through, because of what I've learned. And without that, I wouldn't be the person I was today. We're who we are and where we are at the exact moment where we're supposed to be. And we got to accept that and just look at the world in a way where you're able to take in everything and receive everything and look at it from a different perspective, not in a negative and a half empty perspective, but a half full perspective, because there's no other way to live life. You look at all these negative situations people are in. I hear cancer here and there every single day, but they're taking that situation and they're using it. They're appreciating everything they have. And it changes people. It really does. Absolutely.
I feel like I'm in front of Tony Robbins right now getting a speech. I love it. This is great. I'm already empowered already. And I'm supposed to be helping, but you're anyway. Awesome.
You're very helpful in my life as well. We each impact each other in different ways.
And isn't that how the world is supposed to be, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. So a little more about the story. So you worked for your parents mm-hmm. and in the medical field, and mm-hmm. keep going from there.
So then they ended up moving from this was Wisconsin,
okay,
and they moved out to Oklahoma, and
two of the most thriving metropolises in the United States.
It is, it very much is. There's a lot going on there. You have no idea.
Really?
And I ended up moving to Chicago. Was there for a couple of years. I've always loved that city. There's just a lot of light and energy, and there's so much to do. I love the theater district. I love the food. And coming to San Diego, I got that city life, but I also, I love the fact that San Diego has so many different aspects to it.
It does.
If you cannot enjoy San Diego, there's something wrong with you. There's anything and everything you can possibly think of. And every day, even when it's raining, it's beautiful.
Always.
Yes.
So what are you doing here in San Diego?
So now I'm doing permanent makeup. So I've integrated a little bit of the medical past that I've had, and I'm utilizing it. And I'm helping empower women in their own way with permanent makeup. This business really helps individuals feel good about themselves, and I'm not changing their appearance. That's why I love it so much. That's why we love medicine in general, and we love helping people and making them well again. That's in each one of us. We try to fix things, whether it's people, animals, computers, every aspect of our life. We want to fix things. We want to make things right.
We want to grow together, right?
Exactly.
I have another podcast guest that's going to be one of the most amazing ones. I mean, they're all amazing, of course, but this guy I'm looking to get on. He's I'm not going to go into details about it, but he really has found out how this whole world is really interconnected way more than we realize. And I can't wait for him to share that, because I don't want to get into it on our podcast, because it's your time here today. But okay, so speaking of sharing and connecting, obviously I've seen you in a public setting and how you're sharing, connecting. Is there something that you've learned along the line from some certain person or some certain moment in your life that said, listen, I'm going to be more outgoing than others? Because I want to get a tip out of this, because I'm not so outgoing when I go out. I mean, sometimes, sure, especially if I have a drink or two, it helps loosen up a bit, but I don't want to have to be in that situation. I want to be able to just share and be and grab this person's hand and take them over here and say, hey, this is so-and-so. Do you have any help? Can you give me some help? You
know what's funny, Dennis? When I was younger, I was actually a fairly quiet child. I grew up there's 5 kids in our family, and I didn't ever need the spotlight, and just I enjoyed the time with my friends. And for the most part, I was fairly quiet. I've moved so many different times, though, that I've really learned to be adaptive to any situation I'm in. And I tell you, moving, it was the best thing that ever happened, because it truly got me comfortable with any environment. Have you noticed you got to be comfortable in any situation, whether it's a business meeting, whether you're in a social setting, whether you're in a political debate. You really have to feel comfortable. You have to own the room. You have to own your power. And that's what's really important about that. And I think first and foremost, being genuine.
Definitely. So start with genuine.
Yes.
So just be yourself. I know this comes up in our lives over and over again. Just stop worrying about who you should be. Just be who you are.
Yes.
And I guess I don't know why I just get so should I talk to that person? I guess rejection. I guess I feel like I'm going to get rejected,
First and foremost,
how do I fight rejection?
You got to go into the room owning
or how my audience
you got to create that in your head first. You got to know, you know what? I have the right to speak to every one of these people. And you know what? These people want to speak to me. They're in that setting for a reason. They want to speak to you.
Right.
We second guess ourselves, though. You're putting yourself down before you even go in there. Go in there without any rejections. Sit there and run, do your workout that you feel amazing at, and just have it in your head that you cannot fail. If you're put in a situation where you are forced to have to make a decision and solve a problem, my father was like that with me. I realized no matter what, I don't complain. I just figure it out. Right. And I know that I have to make that work. And that's kind of my mentality in life. You have to make it work. You go into that room thinking, who can I help? You're here to help individuals. All these people want your help. You're helping them.
Right.
So you're not intruding with them at all.
Right.
So go into the room.
So it's not intrusion. You're hey, how can I help you?
Yeah.
How can I share with you?
Yeah.
How can I? So that's from you're not being offensive because you're helping them. So they're going to be welcoming to you. Okay, good.
And if there's not a way where you think, okay, I don't want to lead with that. Well, you know what? The best way to start a conversation, compliment someone.
That's true.
It's so easy to do. And you know what? You can be genuine about it.
Yeah.
I sit there and I look at you. I love your shoes. You have some nice kicks. I like the colors. You know what? But
do you really like them, or are you just
No, I
that?
truly do.
You like my
I do. I like the colors on them.
I have to bleach them every day because they're white. But
That's not a surprise. With Cody, I bet.
Yeah, right. Cody Monster. Okay, so
You can find a compliment with everyone, though.
you're right. Absolutely. That's pretty easy because we're all original and we have cool things we all do. So
And we want to talk about ourselves. So it
Right.
leads on perfectly.
And I want to point out also about Michele, she's not in the room like stealing the room. She like glides the room. She's not an outcast or anything like that. And that's really why I'm having you come in. You're not like dominating the room. You're just a part of the room and like a comfort flow to the room. Kind of like she was saying before, she's the sharing part of the room. She doesn't throw some business in your face. And that's another thing I want to talk about is that a lot of people, you go to these networking things, they drive you nuts because you know they're having a fake conversation with you just to give you their business card, you know, a financial planner or insurance guy. I hate to, you know, put that on them, but most of them are like that. It's like, it just, you know, I want to get your stock portfolio and real estate people, especially to this day, I have, you know, they just call you up and they'll check on you all the time, but they're checking on you because their appointment book told to check you on, you know what I mean? Their software.
An obligation.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
An obligation to their, you know, database. But, and you don't seem like to be that person, you know, you're just, hey, in fact, if anything, if you've contacted people, I know you've contacted me, hey, did you get a hold of that other person? You didn't contact me. I mean, because obviously I'm not going to buy the services you have, but you're connecting other people. And I was just explaining this to another friend of mine, actually, and he's in the commercial real estate business, and it's a little tough in that business. And I said, don't try to sell your service, try to sell who you know.
You know what you're selling is you're selling yourself.
Right.
You're not selling your service. You're selling yourself.
Right, exactly.
You have to put yourself in a position where people respect you and you can be assertive. You have to look the part, but you have to be genuine. You can sense that. The individuals that you see with real estate, you can sense that immediately that they're not being genuine. All that's in their mind is, I need to sell.
Right.
How can I sell? Who's my best sell? If you come in there with the mindset, who can I help today? It radiates from someone. You truly can see that in their eyes. And that's so important, is you really have to be genuine. There's nothing that's more of a turnoff than someone that's not being genuine.
Right. You know, when we spoke originally, when we came into this podcast, we really were aiming on helping other women. Mm-hmm. And I know you've been a big advocate. I've been trying to be an advocate as well on this. I've been dedicating a lot of episodes to helping women because they're cool. What they say, behind every good man's a good woman, right?
Yes.
So I'm trying to make a lot of good men out there by helping the women.
Well, we appreciate that. Every single one of us.
There you go. Dennis. So wait till you see one of my cool podcasts that's coming up soon. But do you have any advice for women to help them gain respect in the business environment or the social environment for that matter?
Yes, I do. I think first and foremost.
And it better be good.
Oh, okay. we really have to, you have to gain the respect of the community. You have, first and foremost, you should be genuine because people sense that, but you have to gain that respect you have to have that respect about yourself and about your business. And as a woman, you need to be able to, you could dress the part, but you still have to dress, you know, for the most part, professional.
Right.
In a way where you're not going to attract attention in a sexual way. Yes. Yeah. In a way where you're approachable. You want to be approachable as well. So, it's very important for a woman. There's a video I actually watch. It's called Deborah Grunfield, Power and Influence. And it's very important. It's how to assert yourself as a woman, have someone respect you. So when you're in a room, when you're with someone, you want to stand up tall. It's very important to be tall. You're seen as You're seen as respectable. So you want to be tall. You want eye contact. When I go in a room, I definitely focus on the eyes. It's very important that you have eye contact. Mm-hmm. People respect that. They know that you're serious about it. Another thing is you got to be very tall. Like I said, you have to be open. Don't be closed in. When you're closed in, that is when you seem almost timid and afraid. So you want to be open, you want to stand tall, you want to have eye contact, and you want to keep a straight head for the most part, no tilting.
Right.
Unless you're listening. If you are speaking to a crowd and you're trying to gain that respect, you want to have your head straight, eye contact. You want to be genuine. You can smile. You want to smile. You want them to know that, you know, you are a human being and not just a robot. And you want to obviously focus on trying to be as still as possible, no fumbling with the hands, but you can be genuine, you can engage the crowd. When there's speakers up on stage, what do?
They move and shake. They walk the stage back and forth using hand gestures and keeping good posture and speaking through their whole body versus out of their mouth and short breaths.
And how do they engage with the audience?
How do they engage the audience?
With the audience, yes.
Questions.
Yeah.
Concerns of what they're, wanting. Basically, It's all about what they want, not what you want. So it's all in the customer world. I know I'm learning over and over again. It's not what I think they should have. It's what they want.
Exactly.
That's the biggest thing. That's totally important to everybody. I've been doing some exercise of my own on this. You can definitely go on the internet and YouTube, and even TED Talk has a bunch of things on posture, like you had talked about, and speaking clearly, and voice lessons. A lot of that's free on YouTube if you just Google it. If you are interested in trying to improve that, which we always can improve that for sure.
And that Deborah Grunfeld video, it's 20 minutes, great video. You should check it out.
It's on YouTube.
It's on YouTube, yeah.
And it's not on Tully. I want to look it up, but I don't want to jump on a computer right now. But on TED Talk, the one lady just totally shows you how, even how you move your body or how you face your body to another person. It's amazing because if I face you straight like this, that's kind of intimidating in some cases. But if I talk to you like this, it opens up. Yeah. And so a lot of different things like that people should definitely, or women and men both, should take into consideration when they're talking to somebody. So you also talked about women dressing accordingly. Obviously, if they're, just wearing all this tight clothing, it's going to be distracting when they're doing what men. Yeah, absolutely. I know I get distracted quite a bit.
I have a certain style that I dress. I dress business couture.
Yeah.
So I always have a jacket on, no matter what the situation, no matter if it's hot out. It's a way to cover your shoulders. I have to be professional. Right. So I'm with makeup, so I always have the makeup on, but I can wear a dress, but I can wear a jacket over it, and instantly it becomes more conservative a little bit. You're not as exposed.
Right. It's definitely a fine line there, because obviously you're born with this beautiful body for purpose. But when you're trying to do business, we're trying to focus on the subject, not focus on other things. And I'm speaking from a man's side, so I want to keep looking at your eyes, not your body, and so on and so forth. And but you're right. It's very important to have the right dress.
And you know what? We give off those signs as well. If a woman is walking into a room looking for something other than business, you can tell, you can sense that about her. But if she walks into the room with that assertive self, you can tell that she in there for business. It's totally your energy. Yep. It's your mindset. So when you go in the room, prep yourself for what you want.
Right.
If you want business, if you want to engage with individuals, if you want to find clients, think about, okay, I want to find individuals that I want to help. And that way it comes across more genuine, as opposed to putting on this facade that you're for business.
Right. Okay, so you wanted to touch on a very great subject that I love to talk about all the time, is living in the now. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people, we do understand it, because like I said, a lot of people are more and more in tune with this stuff now. But why don't you speak more on how you portray that?
So it's all our vision. When you truly think about right now, living in this moment, we are where we are, where we're supposed to be at this exact moment as a person. Tomorrow, it's a question mark. Right. The future is all a question mark. But we're the ones that create it. What do we create it with? We create it with the baggage of the past, don't we?
Yep.
So why don't we clear the slate, brand new canvas, don't take any consideration into the past, maybe the positive aspects that we've learned, but nothing negative, because it happened in the past. That's a learning curve. We don't need to bring that into the present, because you know what, it actually shapes the future in a way that can be negative.
Right.
So that's why live in the now. Don't sit there, bring in these repetitive patterns, because if you sit there continually living the same lifestyle with these patterns, you're gonna continue, and your future will be exactly the same.
Right.
That's why you need a pattern disrupt.
Right.
If you sit there and you're living this very monotonous lifestyle every day, groundhog, it's going to be the same way every day.
Right.
So pattern disrupt, do something different. You know what? Wake up different every single morning.
Give an example.
Wake up, get out of the other side of the bed. If you always get out of the right-hand side of the bed, do the log roll and go out the left side of the bed.
Or I sleep on one side of the bed. I should try sleeping on the other side of the bed.
Sleep on the other side of the bed.
It's like a whole new world.
And every day, wake up, jump out of bed, stand up and say, I love my life.
Okay.
And have that mindset and then go to bed and say, I love my life.
Do you do any kind of meditation or anything like that? Or do you have any like morning rituals you want to share that maybe can help somebody get started with that bang in the morning?
There's a couple good things that you should do. Think about when you wake up in the morning, before any electronics, don't check Facebook, don't check any of your feeds, because they say that when you check your media or your emails, it basically shapes your day.
Yep.
You base your day based on whatever Facebook says, whatever your emails say. So before you even do that, write down if you need to, or even put it in your mind, what do I need to do for today? What's my plans? And don't let anything change that. And then after you've gotten ready, you've left, then you can check whatever you need to. But if you check those social media sites right away, you're going to let it shape your life. You run your life. You're not going to let the past run your life. It's not going to dictate it. You're going to pattern disrupt. You're going to go into the future with a mindset where you cannot fail.
Right.
And if we go into the living in the now every day with that mindset that you can't fail, you can achieve anything. You heard of the guy 50-50-50. They call him the Iron Cowboy. Did 50 Ironmans for 50 days straight in 50 different states.
Wow.
Now you sit there and tell me that someone can't do anything. You would never, they tell you what? They tell you based on past experience that, for instance, maybe 3-4 at the most a year. This guy, no break, every single day, a different Ironman, a different state.
Wow.
Some of the days he had barely any sleep. He said he was biking, and he said, just to let you know, the asphalt is the worst alarm clock. He fell asleep on the bike because he had no sleep.
Wow.
And he brought his kids and his family but he was raising awareness on childhood obesity. But he had it in his mind that he could do this. Didn't let any of the past statistics drag him on. And you sit there and you have nothing but the respect for this guy. This guy's probably in his early 40s, so no excuses. He had a family, he had a wife. There's no break, no sleep. And this guy did an Ironman every day. I try to think of it. I can't think like that, but I've never tried an Ironman, but I have so much respect for anyone that's ever done one.
Absolutely.
It takes so much strength.
So much time.
But you know
and
what?
energy and drain.
It proves just your mind is so powerful. You can make anything that you can dream of, and that can be in a negative way as well.
Right.
So that's why we always got to stay very positive. Get those negative thoughts out of your mind. Get everything in the past, leave it in the past. Every day, focus on the now.
Love it.
You can even make a chart if you need to. Make a chart. Everything that happened in the past, make a chart of the future. Put a big question mark and keep thinking of that it's a brand new day every day. You wake up, if the previous day was bad, wake up, today's a new day. I'm going to start new. I'm going to start fresh.
Right. It's such a great subject because I was speaking to somebody some of the day and they had gotten kicked out of their home. They have kids and they got kicked out of their home. But we're sitting in a room and they have a place to stay, but they're sitting there just talking about the past, how they got kicked out of their house and how life is miserable. I said, well, let me ask you something. Right here, right now, do you have a place to stay tonight? Yeah. So you see what I'm saying? Like, they're not living in the now. They're like, well, your problem was already solved, but you're still talking about it being a crisis. The bottom line is you're not on the street, because a lot of people get faced with, like, hey, I lost my job, I lost my money, I can't buy food. It always finds, if you continue to look forward, kind of like you're saying, like if you just keep looking forward, you'll find out that actually here and now, in the now, like you're talking about, you're not in the situation your mind is in. Your mind is like tricking you into thinking you're in that state because you're never in a state that your mind tells you unless you let it happen. And we tend to not let it happen, even though we feel like we're making it happen.
When the way I grew up, my father, he would give you the nastiest look if you asked him any questions how to solve a problem at work or whatever. So we just hadn't, he in his mind, he works very quickly. He works in medicine. So we learned to just figure out the situation no matter what. And it's really followed through to me. No matter what the situation is, I don't say anything. I don't complain. Worrying's like a rocking chair. You know, it gives you something to do. It doesn't get you anywhere.
Right.
All you can do is sit there and how do you get out of the situation? There's no problems. There's only solutions. And if you sit there and complain, you're only keeping it in.
Right.
You're not solving the problem. You're keeping yourself in homeostasis, and that's what everyone does these days. They're very quick to judge, and they're very quick to complain. I'm not a complainer because I sit there and I think everybody has problems, and I'm not going to complain because I'm happy.
Right.
No matter what I'm happy. Yeah, like you said, you have a roof over your head. I have a dog like you that I love to death.
Yep.
He's my little buddy. I mean, there's nothing to complain about.
Lots of friends.
Exactly.
Clothes in your back. You're living in sunny California, looking at palm trees, right?
Yeah.
Talking on a microphone right now, empowering people. How bad can life be? And anybody can have this.
Exactly. Like, for instance, I just moved from a location in Claremont, and I had some of my stuff boxed up outside with a tarp over it. Well, one of the guys had moved the tarp, and it had ruined everything.
Oh, no.
All of my stuff. Yes. Everything
The one
was
rain we
ruined.
get a year.
Yeah. It was the day that it rained for 3 days straight. It was just pouring and pouring. It was really bad, and everything got ruined. And this is some of my childhood stuff, some stuff from friends and family members that have passed, and I thought they meant a lot to me. And I did, because we give that meaning. So at that moment, I had this feeling of peace, and I thought, you know what? It's okay. This is actually good. It allows me to let go and realize what's really important. So I thought that meant a lot in the past. I thought it's okay. I took it to the dump, all of it, and I accepted it and was okay about it. I said, that's fine.
Right.
I still have memories. I still have myself. I still have my health. That's all that matters. And it almost feels kind of good to get rid of it and realize that that's some of that baggage that's holding us back.
Yes.
Something that we don't need. But I created that in my head that I think I need that, even though it's memorable, it's memories, it was pictures. But you know what? I don't need that. I still have it in my head. I still have my family, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah, it really is. I went when I was younger. I traveled the world and had all these photos from all over the world of me riding my bike in front of fans everywhere. And I moved out to California, and the box disappeared in the mail.
Oh.
I mean, it was thousands of photos of me everywhere, all around. And I look back and go, it'd be really cool to have all the photos with all the people I met and so on and so forth. But you're right. I'm moving on without them, and I have the memories in my head. I can't share them as much as I'd like to, but they're there, and they're there for me anyway, you know. But you just move on. I mean, we all move on. Things move on in this life, and that's just how it is. And if you keep tying yourself to the stuff in the past, you can't create new ones in the future. And that's really what it's all about, isn't it?
No, exactly. Because yes, those were happy times. I know exactly what you mean. I loved sports when I was younger, and it was nice to be in that light at that moment. But we can't drag that with us and think and try to keep that light with us.
Why can't you just make another moment?
We got to create. Yeah, exactly. We create our new light. That's even more important. And I see the light in your eyes when you talk about, you know, the X game, the sports that you used to do. I see that, and that brought joy to you. And we can still do that. Yep. But look at what you're doing. You're empowering individuals with your stories, and you know what? That you're impacting so much more individuals than you were, at your sports.
Well, I'm just in a different arena. I mean,
Yeah.
Before I used to talk in front of thousands of people all the time, and it was amazing, and it was really amazing to own the room and just get to that one person's mind and say, hey, can we change your life? And regardless if they did or not, I did my job as a professional athlete speaking. But here today, you know, I was just talking to a friend yesterday about how this is going, and this is really exciting. But the bottom line is I get to sit here for 20 or 30 minutes and talk to somebody like you who wants to give something back to the world. I'm allowing that, giving it and you're allowing me to share that. And it's amazing. And, beautiful people, athletic people and smart people. And I mean, the guests I'm getting are just God sent. And it's really exciting to be able to do this and share and just try to pick their brains and try to make sure that they say from the heart stuff on my show, and I'm really excited about doing that. It's really fun. It really is.
And what's so important is we got to realize our powers that we have, and we got to give that to the world.
Right.
We really do.
Right.
You never know, one person, it could change their life. They could listen and it could affect them, and it'll push them forward. It'll take away those reservations they had. And that's what it's all about. Know your power, own your power, live it, walk into the room with that power that you have, not in a negative way, but in a way to change, one individual's life or the world. You never know. But you have to have that mindset. You have to realize, understand your power, and use it for the good.
Awesome. I was going to ask that question to be answered, but it was already answered without even asking it.
I read your mind.
So yeah, she read the mind of me, Dennis Langlais, here at the 5 Minute Bark. And God, this has been such a great episode. Believe it or not, it's already come to an end. It's already, can you believe it? 30 minutes of us just talking back and forth. So,
well, you're so easy to chat with.
Oh, thanks.
It was an honor.
Especially when me telling you, stick your face in the microphone and stand up this way and do this way and looking at charts and notes and everything. Yeah, I'm a one-man band right now. I'm doing video, audio, everything. It's little technical difficulties here and there, but it's really a lot of fun.
It's impressive though. Look at what you've learned. You've taught this to yourself.
I know,
it's incredible.
Yeah, it's pretty simple, but it's pretty fun too at the same time. But I'm really excited. I can't wait to get a staff behind me when the sponsors come in and all that great stuff. But we're already working on that, and things are moving in an awesome direction here at the 5 Minute Bark. Although it's not 5 minutes anymore, it's a much longer bark. But that's okay.
That's good though, because there's a lot to talk about. A lot of good things.
I know. They all get longer and longer. Everybody wants to stay on the microphone. I can't get them off. I can't peel them off. They're like, how am I going to talk that long? Hey, time. So anyway, everybody, Michele had shared an amazing amount of information here for women to be assertive and be powerful and influence in their lives and on a business environment. And hopefully you learned something here very special. Gifted words here from Michele here today, and thank you for coming here, and thank your dad for making such a special person to give you all these valuable tools that he did. And I know you shared a lot of that here in the show too, so I'm sure you are thankful to him and your family for making you the perfect person for the show here today. So all right, everyone, we've got, again, more amazing guests coming as time goes on. I can't wait to share more as we shared here today. It keeps getting better and better and better. And the people that come here, you can also visit us here at the iTunes store at 5 Minute Bark. If you want to share it with everybody here, if anybody wanted to get a hold of you to get some information, women out there to maybe pick your brain, do you want to give it a Facebook page or anything like that?
Yes. La Jolla PermanentMakeup.com is my website, and my Facebook is under Eniance at facebook.com, I think. Oh gosh, it's horrible. I don't even know it right now, but it's Eneonce, ENEONCE.
Say that one more time so they can write that down.
ENEONCE, and it'll be on Facebook. And you can also look me up on Facebook, and it will be linked, Michele Kuglitsch.
Awesome. Thank you again.
Thank you, Dennis. It was an honor and a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.